make your day richer than it was before. Got some good times knocking upon your front door.
Welcome everyone to the show. Happy Thursday. It's Throwback Thursday. This week is flying by. Let's take a look at me. This is 2018 in apparently a very red face. This was pre everyone on Zoom. This is the initial virtual interviews that I started in the beginning of 2018, and I was using Skype. Do y'all remember Skype? That was a very interesting time when I thought, I'm going to start reaching out outside of San Antonio, because that's where I was living at the time, and see if I can talk to other people outside of Texas. And Skype was free, so that's what I used, and that's was the beginning of my virtual interviews. Before we get to the show today, because we have a really good show, the goal is to get to 250,000 views and downloads by March 1st. We started the year off with 100,000. Let's see where we're at. $245,333. We like exact numbers around here as of this morning before the show. So now's a good time to just help us get to 250,000 by sharing the show. Just click that share button right now. Help us get there, and I think we can do it by March 1st. All right, let's start the show. Oh, also, I ran here to do the show from a networking meeting this morning, so I want to say hi to all my friends at Crossridge Coffee at the Indian Land Networking. It's a great networking, great group of people. So if you're in the area, in the Waxhaw, North Carolina area, Indian Land, Lancaster, that area, look them up. It's fun. We meet every month at 7:30? No, 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock on Thursdays. All right, let's go. My first guest is a leader who has shaped the entertainment landscape and is now making a powerful impact in financial education. Shelley Miles is the executive director of the Singleton Foundation for Financial Literacy and Entrepreneurship. Before that, she was a driving force at the Walt Disney Company, where she started their interactive game business. She is responsible for Disney's interactive game business. Now she's using her entertainment expertise to help people build brighter financial futures. Please welcome Shelley Miles.
Hi, it's great to be here with you today.
I'm so glad you're here, and I really want to talk about the important stuff, like the fact that you just had a latte in order to get on the show today. What, are you a latte coffee fan? That's really the important stuff.
I like hot lattes with regular milk. Yeah.
Okay. Do you have like fancy, are you a fancy coffee pot, coffee maker, espresso machine in your house, or how do you do it?
Last year, Santa Claus brought my husband and I a really fun machine that's kind of like a vending machine, and you just push the button and it does all the work.
Oh my gosh.
It grinds the beans, it steams the milk, it froths it. It's beautiful. And you can choose different beverages.
Yeah. Oh, and the latte is your beverage of choice.
Sometimes.
Okay, good. I just got a new one, a Ninja. It's like espresso machine that does all the things. I maybe have had some espresso martinis. Oh yes, Shelley, I'm not fooling around when it comes to coffee.
That's really fancy.
Yes. Do you work from home?
Often, not all the time. Okay. I go into the office 3-4 days a week.
Okay. Well, that's why you're here, to talk about what you do in the office, the Singleton Foundation for Financial Literacy and Entrepreneurship. And I love that you're using entertainment to talk and teach people about money, which can be so scary for people, myself included. So tell everybody what you do.
Well, we tell stories and we make games and play, because when people are having a good time, it's usually when you learn the most and
Uh-huh.
when you're open to things. And it's such a basic part of life that we thought, well, this can be enjoyable and you can learn the information and then you'll do it because you want to.
Yeah. Yeah. Of course, that's why entertainment is here. Hopefully, good entertainment will teach you something, right? And this is exactly what you're doing. When was it founded?
So we really started in 2017, and our founders, Will and Carrie Singleton, were really interested in focusing on both entrepreneurship and financial literacy. And they had an idea that entertainment could be key. So we started trying to figure out what that meant and figuring out how do you make entertainment about financial literacy that people really want to watch.
Uh-huh.
So we brought in a whole bunch of young writers, actors, producers, directors, and we all sat in a room and they had whiteboards and they wrote about the things they were wishing for and hoping for in their life, the things they worried about that kept them up at night. And we put all that together and came up with these short videos. And
Mm.
they did 6 series the first season, and saw how people reacted and what they took away from it. And we've kept going. And then
Have
we
you
did
been around from the beginning?
yeah, I was the first employee.
Oh,
So,
that's exciting.
yeah, and then we made a video game, and we, worked with a really great video game designer who's been in the kind of a legend in the industry. He worked on John Madden football and headed up Sonic the Hedgehog stuff and said, let's make
Wow.
a game that's really a fun game, but let's make sure all the learning underneath is correct. So then we went to a bunch of universities who helped us make sure the economics were right. And we gave people the opportunity to pretend to be a CEO of their own business and try to outbusiness their friends by playing competitively.
Oh my God, how fun. What is the age range that you support?
So it's really for everyone, but we focus on adults. So kind of 18 to 30, people that are getting started learning about money, making big financial decisions in their lives. And we try to give them the skills that they need and tell them why they need it too, which is what the storytelling's all about, so
Mm.
that they can manage their lives and make the kind of decisions that'll give them a happy future.
Oh, this is so fun. You said that the first season. So where like is it available? Like how do people engage in it and find the
Oh,
shows?
okay, so the shows are available at millionstories.com. They're available on YouTube, on TikTok. You can find us under Million Stories Media. And, you know, where you consume media, that's where you'll find us.
Okay, good. Of course. You guys have figured it out. What did you love going into it? Were you I know you worked for the Walt Disney Company, so were you in was your love in entertainment? Was it in entrepreneurship? In like where was your
So
original love?
my original love was entertainment. And but I started my career as a CPA, and then I had an
Mhm.
opportunity to go to the Walt Disney Company. And so that was like a dream come true. And I worked I had several startups. Some did fine, some flopped. And I was working in another entertainment company when I came to the foundation. And I
Mm.
had never realized that lack of financial knowledge was such a problem. And more than half of people can't even answer really basic questions. And financial knowledge is like it's like knowing that you should eat well and exercise, right?
Yeah.
It's really
Yeah.
basic stuff, and it affects every part of your life, and it has a lot of effect on how you feel about yourself, and
Mhm.
so I thought this is a great thing, and
Uh,
so I was really excited to be given the opportunity to work here.
why do you think people don't know or aren't taught about money?
Well, there's really a lot of reasons. It was never a subject at school, so it's not something
Mhm.
you learned at school, even though that's been changing a lot with, I think, 26 states now require a semester of financial education. But people mostly learn from their parents, and if their parents don't know, then their chances of getting to know were small. Most people, we did a survey of like 2,000 people and found out people thought it was going to be boring and it's going to be complicated. I mean, if you can imagine saying financial literacy to someone, their eyes roll back in their head. And so they think it's going to be hard and scary, and they don't know that they need to know it. So, by the time they figure it out, half of them have racked up huge credit card bills with high interest rates that start really draining them. And so they just don't know what they don't know.
Yeah.
And really, it's the Google generation. And so you get information right when you need it. And a lot of times with financial stuff, it's longer term planning.
Where are you based?
We're based in Pasadena, California.
Okay. Do you work with people all over, or?
Yeah, our programs are available all over the country. We work with a lot of partner organizations to get our products into people's hands, and they're all available digitally. And so it's a matter of finding it. So if you go to our YouTube channel, I think we have well over 300,000 subscribers there.
Wow. That's astounding. One, just probably people just finding you searching for help with that topic that are probably stumbling across it.
Yeah. Well, a lot of people find us through other interests. So, a lot of people that are found us because they like travel, and we have shows about travel, and we have shows about cooking, and we have just emotional stories. We have stories about people turning their failures around called Faceplant. We have shows about romance. We have a series called Heartbroke, which is about couples and money, and it follows people in their relationship. And so it's really broad-based general topic stuff, which is just looking at it through a financial lens.
So if I'm someone who is interested in learning about it and I give you a call, like, what does that process look like? Is it kind of just like an open source, or are you
an open source? And we also work with partners who make it part of their curricula. So we work with the Network for Teaching Entrepreneurship. They put a lot of our content into their curriculum to make it more exciting and interesting. There's universities that use it in the classroom. We do tournaments with Venture Valley at universities and other schools. And so we just did a big Boston area one. So if you went to one of the 9 Boston area universities that participated, you bump into it because there's an exciting tournament going on. And so there's all kinds of ways that people find out. It might show up in their feeds because of the algorithms on YouTube.
What is the best way that people can support the work that you're doing?
What we are most interested in is having people use the things that we're doing. So we have 4 programs in the foundation. We have Million Stories, where there's around 300 episodes of great stuff to watch, and they should watch it. And then we encourage them to go use Groove, which is a really great app it's a web app that helps you set goals, helps you know what your money personality is all about, kind of looks at how you feel and helps you learn how to plan and accomplish things. You can play Venture Valley and learn how to make financial decisions and learn what it feels like to run a business and have the profits go into your personal account. You can try out Slingshot, which helps you put ideas for business together. And it's really fun and really exciting to be able to come up with a business plan in under an hour.
My gosh.
And so the best thing to do is to just start. And wherever your point of entry is, whether you heard about it, seeing it on your computer, watching it with a friend, whether you saw it in a classroom, whether you saw it, we work with the Department of Defense and the Military Spouse Program to provide resources. So wherever you saw it, just start. and just start your journey.
So the next time you're laying in bed and you're scrolling and you're like, maybe I'll watch some awful reality show. Why don't you tune in to one of their shows and actually learn something and be entertained at the same time?
And who knows, maybe you can have like a, a financial movie watching party and
Yeah.
chat it afterwards.
Seriously. You've done so much in really such a short amount of time. I worked in a nonprofit for a long time and things can be very slow moving. um, but it seems like y'all have really done so much in this short amount of time.
Well, it's a really big problem, and it's not a problem that any one organization can solve by themselves. So we get to work with lots of different people, which has allowed us to do more. Um, and we have a great team of people, many of whom come from the entertainment industry. We have educators, we have technologists, and we all come from businesses, and we want to get stuff done.
It's a good motto. That's a good mission to have. Yes. Yeah. When you've got all that motivation behind you.
Yeah, we're an operating foundation, so we're not a grant-giving organization. So the charitable funds that we receive from as gifts, we put it into what we do, and then we give the product away, and you can use it for free.
Okay. What do you love most about your life right now?
My life is great. First of all, I have a lot of fun at what I do all day. I have lots of fun hobbies. I have a great family. So I kind of like everything about my life right now.
Uh-huh. I love that answer. That's amazing. It probably also, I'm assuming, being around that kind of innovation and excitement must be really fulfilling and energizing. And to me, I would be like, it keeps me young. Like it keeps me always on my toes. How do you feel about being in that environment?
Yeah, look at what you do. You talk to different people all the time, so it's always new and different. Every day is new and different. I learn something every day, and it's exciting and it's fun. And every time we do one thing, we think, "Oh gosh, what if could do this?" And it kind of leads to the next thing. And we have a really, really wonderful group of people we work with. Everybody is dedicated to the mission and excited. And so it makes it fun to go to work and be with all these smart people.
Oh, what a joy. Shelly's dog is telling us that we have overstayed our welcome with her and our time is up with Shelly. So we're going to let you go. But what is the best way that people can connect with you and the foundation?
You can visit us at our website and we have a contact form on there. And our website is, this is a mouthful, singletonfoundation.org.
Perfect. We'll have it. It's on the screen and we'll have it in all the notes for everybody as well. So it'll be a click away.
Well, thank you so much for having me on today.
Oh my gosh. Thank you for being here. Do you have one final question? It's 2025. Did you guys have any big plans for this year? Anything that is up your sleeve?
We have some exciting new shows and some really exciting projects on the books.
Good. I'm looking forward to following it, and go to singletonfoundation.org to learn more. And then when all the exciting stuff comes out, you'll know about it as well. Shelly, thank you so much for being here.
Well, thank you again for having me, and then have a really great day.
Are you tired of the same old drinks? Let your taste buds travel. Honkaku Spirits delivers authentic Japanese spirits right to your door. From family distilleries in southern Japan, they bring you exquisite small batch shochu, awamori, koji whiskey, and gin. It's more than a drink, it's a journey to Japan in every sip. Discover your new favorite spirit at honkaku.com and enjoy free U.S. shipping on any order. Thanks for sponsoring the show, Honkaku Spirits.
Welcome back, everybody. There we go. My next guest discovered a life-changing practice later in life, and now he's sharing it with the world. Dean Graves spent 50 years living a typical American life until he discovered meditation. Through that practice, he gained profound insights that transformed his life and his work as a mental health counselor. He's here to share his journey and his message of self-empowerment. Please welcome Dean Graves. Good morning.
Good morning, Rich. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm delighted to be here and I'm doing very well. Thank you.
Good. I'm so excited to talk to you because we have talked a lot about meditation on this show, but never someone I think that has researched it and really has, they practice it, they love it, but no one that has, I think, done as much backstory as you have. So I'm excited to hear more about it. I want to know first, do you remember like the moment you discovered meditation? Like, how did that come into your life?
It came into my life somewhat gradually. I have taught meditation and mindfulness now for about 25 years. And I have new people come to meditation and all the time. And I explain to them that almost everybody that comes to meditation comes running away from the stick. In other words, aspects of their life are painful or simply not fulfilling. And that's all running away from the stick. And meditation is a means of developing your awareness, but transforming your awareness so that what you become aware of as the source of the stick is transformed. And as you begin a meditation practice, almost for everyone, it's somewhat difficult. It was for me. I began in fairly conventional ways of listening to guided meditations. You reach a point where guided meditations are a distraction and you no longer want that guidance. You just want to meditate. You'll go through a phase where you use gongs and candles and things of that nature that are often referred to as simply permission slips to allow yourself to slip into that meditation state until you reach a point where you I describe it as getting a bite of the apple. And imagine that you're on a carousel and you're going around in a circle and you're getting dizzy until you get the ring or you get the bite of the apple, and the apple tastes really good. So your motivation transforms at that point from running away from the stick to chasing the apple. Your motivation transforms. And as your motivation transforms, then you begin to transform, because until we reach the point of an awakening, and awakening is an often misunderstood concept. It's nothing more than that point in your life where you realize that all the things that you've been told that you need to do and that you've been practicing diligently to achieve success are actually not bringing you greater happiness. You may be successful in whatever it is that you're doing, but it's not making you happier. And so it is that transformative time that is the switching on of your awareness, or actually the transformation of your awareness from awareness being pointed outside of you to try to measure the world's reaction to your perception of self. You learn to invert that awareness. And as you learn to invert that awareness, then you assume responsibility for your experiences in your life, in your purpose. And you begin to discover that the things that have prohibited you from experiencing greater happiness are actually inside of you, as opposed to anything outside of you.
You've been practicing this for so long, and it feels like meditation, mindfulness, those words have sort of become like buzzwords now and sort of hashtags. And I sometimes feel like people, like you were kind of saying, like people don't really know what they mean. A lot of people will hear meditation and think it's a 21-day silent retreat, and what is mindfulness, sitting in a quiet room. Can you talk about maybe how it has evolved over the last couple decades?
Well, it's become, as you've said, a hashtag or a
Mhm.
catchword, but it is meditation is a tool that we have available to us in order to fulfill our purpose in life. We are all consciousness. Everything that we experience is consciousness. Everyone's purpose is exactly the same. There's no one that has a different purpose. And that purpose, very simply, is to explore ourselves. And we do that by having experiences. The, um, the process of mindfulness is learning what it feels like to be in a deep meditative state, which means that your awareness is inside of you instead of flopping around outside of you,
Mm.
and learning to take that feeling and that perspective with you as you go throughout your day. And I explain to my students that um, we exist in the village, and in the village are all problems. Every problem that we experience is in the village, but we have the opportunity to retreat to the guru's cave. In the guru's cave, there are no problems. And so when you learn to develop a meditation practice, then you retreat, hopefully on a daily basis. If not, you really miss it. And you allow yourself to have a vacation from the village. But when you complete your meditation, your retreat to the guru's cave, then of course you have to return to the village because that's where we have our experiences. But your perspective of problems is totally different. When you go on vacation, you usually take 2 or 3 days to get into the vacation mode where you're comfortable wearing shorts and t-shirts and flip-flops as opposed to whatever business attire that you may normally wear. And then you get into that vacation mode, and when the vacation is over, you return to your job and normal activity. The same problems existed after you returned from vacation that did before you left, but your perspective of them is entirely different. And when you learn to meditate and allow yourself that meditative time, then you have that vacation every day. So your
Mhm.
perspective of the intensity of the problems, your capacity to problem solve is dramatically increased. Your evaluation of what is important and what is not important transforms as well.
What is like a one thing that everybody could do today to go on a vacation every day? Like what's the first step?
First of all, you need to understand that what you are doing is inverting your awareness. We all have awareness. It's our inherent tool that we have available to us to allow us to have experiences. While we are in that portion of our life, and that portion of our life can last 20 years, it can last, in my case, 50 years, and you continue to practice um, Sisyphusian behavior that you push the rock up the hill every day, knowing it's going to roll back down that night and have to do it again the next day. Allow yourself some time every day, whether it be 20 minutes or an hour, or as Gandhi recommended for stressful situations, 2 hours. But you allow yourself to have that break where you learn to invert the awareness that we all inherently have inside, become aware of those aspects of yourself that you have created, either knowingly or unknowingly, that are perpetuating your stress and eventually suffering. Um, Initially, it may be difficult because we're not familiar with that. We're not familiar with what that feels like. All that we know are the problems of the village. But there is an alternative to that. And the alternative is how we transform ourselves to be able to contend with um, the experiences, and to learn from our experiences and how they are shaping and transforming our life.
I know you, like I said in your intro, that you do coaching, and you mentioned it too with your students. Who do you usually work with? Is there like a typical student of yours, and kind of at what point in a person's journey do they usually come to you?
The common feature that everyone that comes to me, regardless of their age, is they're experiencing significant stress in their life. They're experiencing significant unhappiness, either as they perceive their prevailing condition of being or the world around them imposing upon them. There is no such thing as an imposition from the world around us. It's all how we interpret those experiences, but their perception varies. And so they always come to me with that running away from the stick mentality.
Yeah. What is the best way that people can connect with you?
I have a website that has all my connection information, as well as reference to the books that I've written. I see you have it up on your screen. Thank you. I do, my mental health practice is narrowed. All that I work with now, for the most part, are people that have experienced traumas and maybe have developed PTSD. And through some very ingenious methodology that I learned from others, I'm able to alleviate remove the trauma in a very short period of time, and literally in 10 to 15 minutes. And then they're more willing, liberal, able to work with their therapist or by their own volition, because their obstacle has been removed, to affect some significant healing in a very short period of time. I've written a book that explains this, the identity model, understanding and healing stress and suffering. And it gives them an overview, and it has some practices in the back of the book that I use in my everyday practice to affect these transformations. People can self-apply this. They don't have to work with the therapist, but there are elements that they can apply themselves to achieve great results, great effect.
There are so many ways to interact with Dean, like we were talking about coaching, all of his books. You also have some podcasts that people can listen to.
I do. I have two podcasts. One is called Simple Enlightenment, which is pretty much a tutorial. It's very didactic in providing people with information, and information is what we almost all need in order to learn to transform ourselves. The other is called Chatting with the Arcturians, and it is an ongoing communication that I have with extraterrestrials that we have had close interaction with for more than centuries. And they also provide us with didactic information about who we are, our relationship to creation, and our role within the lives that we live.
And when do those come out?
Well, the Simple Enlightenment is available. It's there since it is very didactic. It's good to begin at the beginning episodes and follow through, because each episode builds upon the previous information provided. We record the Arcturians whenever they want to talk. So when they have something that they want to share, then that's when we record a new episode. And they, a lot of what they do is a further explanation. They are, in many respects, more advanced than we are, because they have been in the creation and process for a lot longer than we have. We are, as a not just Earth, but our star system that we are part of, are relatively new. We're relatively elementary, but the information is all the same. It's just a different perspective that they have that helps give some dimension to our understanding.
And what do you love most about your life right now?
Well, I experience very little stress. which affords me the opportunity to be attuned to these sources of income. What I really enjoy is providing people relief from their own stress and suffering. It is very joyful for me to be able to see a transformation in someone's face almost immediately by helping them heal the traumas that they've experienced. And traumas, everyone has traumas. Not everybody recognizes that they have traumas, but the relinquishment of these obstacles to their self-healing is a foundational step. Most of the about half of my client base are therapists, and the other half, for the most part, are people that have been referred to me by therapists. And so the benefit is, particularly for someone who is working with the therapist, is when they retain the traumas, that is a roadblock. It literally is a brick wall that is very difficult for them to get past. Once I work with them and remove the emotion from the experience, which is exactly what I do, I just remove the emotion from the experience, then the therapists invariably tell me that it is so much easier to work with the patients, that where they may not have been able to get them to talk about their experience with clarity prior to working with me, afterwards they can't shut them up. They just want to tell them everything about it. And so the therapist is able to put that into their experiences into perspective for them, and it greatly accelerates their further healing.
I feel like you'd be a good person to play. It's not really a game, but it's kind of like speed questions that we have around here called Fave Rave. Will you play it with me?
Sure.
Before we go. All right. I need a number 1 through 10.
7.
7. All right. So I'm going to pick out 7 random favorite categories from here, and then you just have to give them to me.
Okay.
And then if you have great answers, everyone in our studio audience is going to get a copy of your book identity model. How about that?
Wow, super.
We don't have a studio audience. It's just fun. All right. Your favorite
was that sleight of hand?
Yes. Yeah. It's all the people out there, Dean. All the people out there.
Okay.
Right. Not the people watching, just the people in this giant studio of a extra bedroom. Okay. Your favorite article of clothing?
Favorite article of clothing? Shoes.
Okay, great. Your favorite artist or musician or band?
Beatles.
Okay. Your favorite car you've owned?
A GMC truck.
Oh, okay. Do you still have it, or is that an old one?
Oh no, it's long gone, but and it was the only truck that I've ever owned. It just it amazed me how much I liked it.
Your favorite candle scent?
Wintergreen.
Good one. Your favorite cereal?
Corn Chex.
Oh, interesting. Right, 2 more. Your favorite time of day?
About 5 o'clock in the morning.
Okay. That's
early morning.
That's when I get up. Final question. Your favorite advice you've given?
To reiterate or repeat the advice that Mahatma Gandhi has given us, to be the change in the world you want to see.
Oh, that's the perfect answer for everybody in the studio audience to win the identity model. Audience clapping because you just gave your book.
Nice people in your audience.
Yes, they're huge fans of yours, just so you know. That's why they're all here. I want to thank you for being on and sharing your story, and for really creating a community and doing the work you're doing for so many people. It's great.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate the work that you're doing as well.
Well, mine's the easy stuff. I get the fun stuff. You're changing people's lives, and I love it. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me. It's been very, very fun, very delightful.
Come back anytime.
Okay. Thank you.
Oh, Dean's the best. That's our show, everybody. We're going to be back tomorrow with David Sidoni, and we're going to be talking about how to buy a home. And we've got author Nicholas Westerfer. And if you watched yesterday's show with Christopher Pellegrini, he's going to come back and we're going to do a Japanese spirits tasting later in the season. And we're going to announce what spirits we're going to be tasting so you can also order them with free shipping. That's it. Go make your day richer. Go make somebody else's day richer. You've made mine by watching the show, and I love you for it. Let's get to 250,000 views. Just share the show right now, would you? Have a great day, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.